Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader Weekly Broadcast. I am Sami Abasad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend is going great. We're going to take a look at the market, see what we can figure out for this week. We're also going to take a look at some swing ideas that I've found while scanning this weekend. Before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. Also, if you're new to our channel and haven't done so, please download a copy of my free ebook. You will like it, I promise. Link is in the description. And if you have any questions for us, reach out by emailing customer service info@t3live.com. If you like the video, find benefit in it, be sure to hit the like button, and let's jump in. Let's get started. At the start of the video, I was going to say welcome to the Strategic Day Trader Weekly. I run the Strategic Day Trader chat room and the Strategic Swing Trader newsletter. So sometimes I mix up the names. All right, so the market first. We got... this is the chart of the SPY, the daily chart of the tracking ETF for the S&P 500, SPY. And as you can see, we're starting to break down. So this is the first time, I don't know, going back to really since we bottomed in late October of last year till now. This is the very first time that we closed below the 20. Maybe here or here we closed a little bit below the 20, but we're actually pulling back. At the beginning of the year, it's different. We're not pulling back, we're breaking down. So barring a pop tomorrow, barring like a nice big green bar, I think we're lower. Okay, so that's what I think. And the SPY weekly chart also, we closed with a red bar below last week's range, so it looks like we might have just topped. Target would be the 20 on the weekly, and we may drop below it still. Why? Because this has been a very long uptrend, so since end of October of last year till now, so that's November, December, that's 5.5 months. So that's like, it's a long, really big rally. So last time we had a similar rally, we did have a significant drop. I'm not saying we're gonna have a significant drop. We have to wait for price to get to the 20 and get a reaction, and if that reaction or that pop fails, then we can look at maybe the 20 on the monthly chart. But the first target will have to be probably the 20 period moving average on the weekly chart, and we'll see what happens when we get there. If we just don't bounce at all, then that suggests more to come. If we bounce hard, then that suggests we bottomed, right? So one step at a time. But for now, it does look like we are going to be starting the pullback. Okay, if not a short-term, medium-term top. The reason why I hesitate to say long-term top, because that's not very typical. When you have just a very controlled uptrend and you top out, it's normally a temporary top. If you have an uptrend that accelerates, that gets really overbought, then maybe it could end up being a longer term top. But this is hard. This doesn't look like a longer term top. So for now, I would say shorter term top. And don't forget, I qualified my statement, meaning I said yes, likely lower, unless we get in a green bar, meaning we fail to follow through on Friday's breakdown bar. If we fail to follow through on Friday's breakdown bar, then I will be back to bullish / neutral. Who knows? That's the SPY. The Qs hasn't even broken down. That's the NASDAQ basically. It has not even broken down. Not on the daily, not on the weekly. Not yet, and it doesn't have as much room to fall on the weekly either, as the SPY does. But the reason why I think also the Qs will be lower is because we did put in a really big green bar on Thursday of last week. And that produced no follow through, and we took it out. So so the logical next step would be to break down. Okay, That to me would be the logical thing to expect. But again, if we get a green bar, then back to square one. Who knows? Back to probably bullish. So barring a green bar tomorrow, I think we're lower. All right. I spent a good amount of time talking about the market, but I think it's important. Not in the sense that by knowing what the market will do, you will actually make more money. No, not that way. But in the sense that it's good to know how to read charts in general, and especially the market, because most of your trades should be in alignment with the market. Okay, so here's some of the swing ideas that I like. I think this ABEO is pretty thin, probably. Now that I'm looking at it, I think it's probably really thin, but it's basing at the highs, didn't react to the drop in the market at all, so long over the base, stop under it, I guess, or somewhere here. It's not my favorite, but it looks bullish. It's a lot more bullish than most other stocks out there. I'll tell you what my favorites are, and if you're a subscriber to the Strategic Swing Trader newsletter, it's been updated. You can access the trades already with the entries, the stops, the targets through your customer portal, or wait for the email to go out tomorrow morning. The ALAB has been doing a buy setup. You see this pattern? It was up and then pulled back. That's a big buy setup, but it's very sloppy. So I don't think this is going to be a play on Monday, tomorrow, but maybe in the later part of the week, as long as it holds up and doesn't continue lower. If it holds up, I'm looking to play it long. One can also play it over this bar's high, which is 75.36 with a stop under 70.50. That would be the most aggressive and tightest stop there is on the ALAB. Okay, BDTX is a beauty, but not on the daily, not quite ready. Look at the monthly. That's a really nice monthly chart. Let me see what scaling I'm on real quick. Yeah, so this is a transition A on the monthly, and this is a beautiful weekly. So I don't think it's quite ready, but I'm gonna be watching it this week for a breakout. It just needs to take out Friday's high. If it can negate this bar over, then I would be looking to play it long as a long-term play. Black Diamond Therapeutics, I've never heard of it before. CTV I played before. I played it on the breakout, I played it on the buy setup, and unfortunately it trailed me out under 220. So trailed me out, ended up being a shakeout. So there's a rule that I follow, but I don't always follow it, because sometimes now I have a reminder after the close, so I can check the ones that I got stopped out of and follow that rule. But the rule is, if the bar that stopped you out gets taken out, if the high of that bar gets taken out by the very next day, bar, or the next day, then enter above that stop out bar's low, a high, sorry. So let me repeat. If the bar that took you out, that took out your stop, if that bar's high got taken out the next day, then that's a re-entry. So here's the bar that stopped me out, in this case, that trailed me out. Then what I should have done is put an order right above that bar's high, and in which case I would have been right back in it on that day. Regardless, I still like it over 260. Stop under 209. Okay, longer term play, because it's got a very, very nice monthly chart. Here it is. Very nice monthly also. So longer term play. ETN is not exactly my type of play, but really beautiful uptrend on the daily, and is trying to pop on the hourly chart. So long right here, stop right here, and target maybe up there. But normally I like to catch the main move on the chart and not play the small pullback. Normally. LE is like super bullish. Disclosure, I have a position in it, but I'm looking to add to it. That's the weekly, and here's the monthly. Another transition A play. So I like it over 1310 or so. This bar's high is 1306.02, over 1302, but I would say over 1310 by 1090. If you want a tighter stop, 1168. If the market is bullish, you can use normally the tight stops. If the market turns out to be bearish tomorrow, then, and you still want to play long, always use the wide stops. This way, if the market drops for a day or two, you likely wouldn't get shaken out, and then if the market bounces back up, hopefully your play gets going as well. OSCR also have a position in it, like it on the weekly a lot, but it does need to take out 1520. So call it 1525. Long with a tight stop under 1350. You can use, so that's 1350, that's 1335. If you want to be safe, put it under everything, which is about 1335, not 1350. But it really looks good long on the weekly chart. Oscar is probably my favorite setup as long as it takes out 1525, okay? I played the Oscar and it was one of my nicest trades this year. Picked it, I was in it on this buy setup, stopped me out midday, and I was able to get back in it, just 3,000 shares, no big deal, at like 980 or 885 or yeah, 8, I'm sorry, not 885, 856, because it was a very, or 852, it was a 6-cent stop. It was a very tight stop. Was able to get in it and get out of it, most of it at least, 2/3 of it, on the day that it reported earnings for 100% gain. I mean, that was like amazing. So I'm looking to replay that weekly buy setup, and the play on it was a transition A on the monthly, but that was a few months ago. Okay, that's the Oscar. PRAX is the same thing on the monthly. It's a bit thin and crazy wild, so you have to use a wide stop on something like a PRAX. So PRAX long would be over about $57 or so, with a stop under 49. Okay, about 57 by 49 as a longer term play. Pretty thin, pretty wild. The XFOR, X4, I mean, that is really bullish. Here's the monthly, here's the weekly, and here's the daily. So it's a daily buy setup. Triggered already on Friday, but I like it higher over Friday's high, stop under Wednesday's low. Okay, so over 136 by 107. Those are some of the ones that I like the most for Monday, but in the video description, I posted my entire daily watch list for tomorrow. In terms of the shorts, here's what I got. Dropbox is very, very weak. 20 MA on the daily is still flat, so that tells me it's probably not ready for Monday, but I really like the weekly chart. It's a weekly 1, 2, 3, so basically under 22.96 with a stop over 23.64 and has room to 20. I think also the Roku is probably similar, but doesn't have as much room, so it's also 1, 2, 3, but then there's that support below. Let's take a look at Twilio, but I probably like the Dropbox the most. Twilio maybe under the base, stop above it, so they all three of them look alike on the weekly chart. DPST is starting to break down. This is the leverage ETF for the regionals, the regional banks, and it has a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. So short under Friday's low, which is 60.50, stop above Thursday's high, which is $65. So it's a big stop, and target I'm not really sure. 40, that would be the most. Currently we have a position in the NYCB as a short. That's a regional, I guess, and so that's looking good short, but it's a little bit late. I mentioned it in last week's video and it triggered already. EFTR had a mega gap down, but notice it didn't bounce and it's actually starting to break down. So I like it short under $2 with a stop over 246. Call it 250. All-time low, which means no target, no predetermined target. We'll just have to manage it. The PERI, similar concept, big gap down, and is basing. So I like it short. There's two ways to do it. Short just under the hourly base right here, or wait for it to get back down to the lows and short under the whole thing, or half and half. So front half, and then second half under the lows. So half and half. So Perry looks lower as well. Okay. Roku, we already talked about it. It's exactly the same as Dropbox, but doesn't have as much room. So I like it short under 58.40 with a tight stop over 63.20, and maybe takes this out. If you think it won't take out 55, then it wouldn't be worthwhile doing because it doesn't have enough reward to risk. The Walgreens WBA is a 1, 2, 3, also short under 17.70 with a stop over 18.18. The short or the bearish watches are not as good, I think, as the bullish watches. Which ones will trigger? Which ones will I play tomorrow? It will depend on what the market ends up doing. As of right now, I picked one short for tomorrow to play. It's for the newsletter and my own account as well, and 4 longs from this list. Okay, so but you have to be a subscriber to know exactly which ones I'm going with. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you on the next one, okay? And best of luck with your trading this week. Take care.